Okay. Now, how many of you guys have seen my video? How many have you guys actually watched my video on how to create your own timeline? Out of you guys tonight, quite a few, or yep, yep. No, not yet, not yet. You did. Sorry, not watched it. Okay, great. Okay, I'm just reading Rhett's screen here at the moment just to see how many people have or haven't watched it. Okay, guys. Well, basically, you can go and get your timeline right now if you want to. Okay, and what we'll do, I won't do it now. I'll tell you where you can go and get that video in a little while. Okay, if I get time towards the end of the webinar, what I'll do is I'll actually go over and show you how you go and get this right now. Okay, it is being rolled out in the next couple of weeks to everybody anyway, but if you want to get in early and go and check out the timeline and have a little play with it, I've done a video showing you exactly how you can go and do it. Only takes a few minutes, as I said, if I get time towards the end of this webinar, then I'll actually go and show you how to do it on the webinar. But this is the timeline. Okay, this is what it is, and basically, let me give you a quick tour. Let me show you around it. What does Facebook mean by the timeline? This is going to take over your profile. This is now my profile. I no longer have a profile as we know and love. This is my new profile. And as we go through it, what you can see is here are all the posts on my wall. Okay, so here we've got people posting on my wall here, and here's my posts earlier, and you've still got all the comments just like you have and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and these are all what's happening right now. Okay, as you can see up here it says right now. Okay, these are happening now. And as we go down, I've now got some older stories, and it starts to condense the older stories a little bit. Okay, and as I go down even further, we're now into August. Here's some of my stories as well going down, and I can keep going down, keep going down. There's photos, stories, likes, all the rest of it, all the way to when I joined Facebook. Okay? So that's my timeline. Now I have to say, I love it. I mean, I really, really love it. I think that it's just such a nice layout with all your photos, and honestly I do. I just think I just love it, and it's essentially like a digital scrapbook. Now I know that some people are a bit, I'm not sure about that. It's a bit creepy, and do I really want all of my information all over Facebook? And that's really for you guys to decide. There are some privacy settings which I'm going to run through with you in a minute, and it is for you guys to decide how much you do or you don't want to share on Facebook. And I've kind of always, you are out there, you're on this public social network now, this public social platform, and I know that privacy can be an issue for quite a lot of us, but it's down to you to control how much you want to share or not. Okay, but check this out, guys. You've got now August, July, 2010s, 2000s, 1992. So I can click on the 2000s, okay, and it's going to take me all the way back to 2009. I can click on 2008 when apparently I joined Facebook. I didn't know. I couldn't remember when I joined Facebook all those years ago, but I joined Facebook originally on April the 10th, 2008. Okay, and as you can see, this is when I was in the property business. Everything I did was to do with property. There's an old photo of me when I used to work in the theatre business. I was very, very young there. And as you go up, not a lot of activity in 2008. Can you see? Not too many posts, not much going on. And then we go into 2009, and again, really, nothing. Nothing happening at all. Really, until we get to 2010, and obviously then I started really getting into Facebook. So basically, that is my timeline. Now, here are the really cool and funky features that we can do with my timeline. Let's click back to now. Okay. Okay, so first of all, this cover picture here, you can choose whatever you want to be up here. So I could choose from my photos that I've got in Facebook. Okay, so I could go down through my photos. Let's view my albums. I've got more on my albums. And let's say that I wanted something from my Yosemite National Park on there. Okay, so I could go and pick, this lovely waterfall, for instance, and I could decide to have that as my cover photo. Okay, and I can reposition it, I can drag it around and decide sort of which element of the photo I actually want on there. Do I want the top or the bottom or whatever, it's really, really funky. Okay, and then I could save the changes, look, and then what that'll do is that will actually create that now as my cover photo rather than the picture of me at Disney. Okay, now I'm going to go back and get my picture of me at Disney because I like that picture. But look, I need to look. Keris is look. That's just my head there. I've got to reposition it to get Keris on. Bless her. So you can basically go on there now. Something I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to totally open up to you and let you know what I'm going to do. I want to get as many subscribers as I can. Why? Because I'm a public figure. I want to be a public figure. Okay, so ideally it's my goal to obviously get as many likes as we can on the Social Networking Academy. I don't know if we've hit 11,000 yet, have we? As many likes as we have, 11,005. It's my goal to get as many likes as we can on the Social Networking Academy, as many likes as I can on the free fan page templates. Okay, and now as many subscribers as I can on my own personal wall. So something I'm actually working on at the moment, I'm getting a graphic designed that's going to go up here that's going to say, want to know everything about social media, want to stay completely up to date, then subscribe here, and had a big arrow coming down towards the subscribe button here. So yes, you can now start to use this cover for all sorts of different things. Okay, you're opening yourself up now. Which I think is great if you want to be a public figure. If you don't, then it's a different story, and we're going to go through the subscribe button in just a moment, okay, and I'll explain to you what you do or don't need to do with that. So what else can I show you here? That's the cover. That's obviously my picture as before. You can edit your profile picture as well from here. Now what's going on in the middle here? Okay, this is the sort of middle section, the hub, if you like. Okay, what Mark Zuckerberg said on F8 on Thursdays, he said the timeline was all your stories, all your apps, and a new way to express who you are. That was kind of his three sort of taglines, if you like. And this middle bit here is kind of the all your apps section, okay? And you can see here I've got my friends, I've got my photos, I've got the pages that I like, I've got my subscribers, and if I click on this little button here, it's going to take me down to some more boxes. So I've got a map, I've got notes, I've got subscriptions, and I've got an app there, okay? Now what I can do is I can actually move these around. So originally my map was up here and my pages were down here. So if you click on this little button here, you can swap position with likes, notes, subscribers, subscriptions, okay? And I can move these around, okay? Or if I click on the little plus button, what I can do is I can go and add an app. So the more apps that I add, then I can actually go and add an app. So I could say, yeah, I want add a link there. It's a really good app, and I could put that there, as something I wanted to highlight. And if I just show you what it looks like, if I click on pages, for instance, then that's going to show all the stuff that you used to see in your info section. Yeah. So here's my music and my books and my television and my inspirational people and all that kind of Matthew McConaughey, clearly one of my most favourite inspirational people. And then here's all my likes by year. Check this out. So now I can actually go and see when I liked a page. So if I go back to 2010, it's going to tell me which pages I liked in 2010. If I go back to 2009, it's going to tell me which pages I liked in 2009. Okay? Which I think is quite funky. So that's what it looks like. That's what your pages look like. You can click onto your friends from here, and that's going to show you your friends. Now the idea is, certainly in F8, it was described that these would be other ways for you to view your timeline. So for instance, if I clicked on photos, then it would actually show my photos going down my timeline. But at the moment, it's not really doing that. So I'm just kind of guessing that that's still to come, okay? Because this is still in beta, and the idea is that all your photos will be laid out, with the dates of actually when they when you uploaded them. So that we've still got some to come, I think. And here, if you click about down here, then this is where you can go in and edit all of your information. So your work and education, you can write a bit about yourself. I haven't put anything in there yet. Your basic info, your contact info, where you live, your relationships, family, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Okay, so now we move down. We move down a little bit. I'll come back to view activity in a second. We move down a little bit and we come to your normal status update. Okay. So we basically click on your status update, and this is where you would put in your status update. Let me change that to public. So public would mean everybody, including all of the people that have subscribed to you. Friends would mean just your friends, okay? So people that you have actually accepted their friend requests and you are friends with, okay? And then obviously custom is what I showed you a bit earlier. And your status update pretty much remains the same. You can put in your photo, you can put in a place, okay? You can tag somebody down here, and that's how you do it. But notice these extra little icons. And this is where I think, I showed you in the news feed this important, where you can choose all updates, most updates, or only important. Well, this is where I think the only important is going to come in, because if you notice, this is work and education. So I can add a job, graduated, military service, other life event, got engaged, got married, child, add a pet, lost a loved one, something like that. I moved, bought a home, I broke a bone, I had surgery, or something like this. And I'm wondering, I don't know, I'm just surmising, to be honest with you, whether it's these little icons here that are going to be the ones that are the important events. So if I went in and decided that I was going to add a child, don't read into that, ladies and gentlemen, and I was going to basically, I had a child today, and she was female and blah blah blah, and I saved that, then that would be an important event. And I'm wondering if I ticked I only want to see the important things from people, then these would be the kind of announcements that I would see. Okay. So that's basically your status bar. Okay, but here's the thing. This is your scrapbook. This is your life. This is your world. This is stuff that's happened in your life. So let's say that you wanted to put something in here that happened. So for instance, we launched the Social Networking Academy in April. Okay? And I don't think I've got anything on here that really talks much about that. But I might want to say, do you know what? We launched the Social Network Academy in April and it was a really big deal to me. So I might go all the way back, to somewhere around that date or time. And I can just click on this time bar here. I'm in July, but I can just click and I can add a status at that stage. Okay, so I can add something right at that moment. I can add a photo, I can add whatever I want right then and there, in my timeline. So I can actually go back and update my timeline. Okay, it doesn't have to be right now. The other thing I can do is I can have a look at something and think, do you know what, that's rubbish, I don't want to show that. Okay, and I could basically go to it and I could say I just want to remove it. So I click on the edit and remove and I say hide from timeline. So I don't want that on my timeline anymore, and that would disappear. Okay, and the other thing I can do, which I really like, I have to say, is let's say that I wanted to make a feature of Neil's post tonight. Let's say I thought that was really cool and I wanted to make a feature. I click on this little star here, and what that does all of a sudden is it puts it right across my timeline. Okay, so it's not just side by side anymore. That's a feature. So when people come to my wall, they're going to see this. Okay, so if I had an event or something I was announcing, then I could literally just go and grab it and have it right across the whole timeline there. So I was making a big feature of it. Okay. So that is the main things on the timeline. Cover pick, boxes, life events, featured, updates, timeline, activity box. And what I want to show you up here is this is your activity box, okay? So basically nobody else is going to see this. Nobody's going to see your activity box. This is just for you. So if I click on view activity, what this means is this is going to give you all of your activity, every single piece of activity you've had on Facebook forever, okay? So you can go on to any one of these, click on this little button, and it's not on there. Hold on. Maybe it's because I'm too... Here we go. And I can feature on the timeline, I can allow on the timeline, I can hide from the timeline, and that's what I can do with this little button here. Okay? So you can go into activity and you can go back. So you could go all the way back and say go to all my posts from July in 2010, and I posted something via YouTube, and I could go and I could say I want it to go on my timeline. It's already on there. But let's say it wasn't. I could say, yeah, you know what, I want that on my timeline. Okay? So that's how you would do that, and this is where I approve all of my posts. Okay, so when people tag me, okay, this is where I would go in to actually approve my posts. Okay, so I can go approve all. Okay, and that means that all of those tags will now be approved and on my timeline. Okay, so they're all down here. All right. So that is a bit of a tour around the timeline. Just having a look and making sure that I have covered everything on my timeline. I think I have. All right. I think what we'll do in a second is we'll have about 10 or 15 minutes just to go through some of your questions, okay? And then I'll come back and go through some more things. What I'd like to do is just run through with you the new layout of privacy settings and account settings, okay? Because they're new, and I want to show you. In fact, I'm going to show you now how I got to the point where I was approving people's tags. That's really important, I think. Something that I really would like you guys to, oh, don't know where I've gone there, really would like you guys to know about, okay? Because I get tagged a lot, and I enjoy being tagged. I'm more than happy to be tagged, okay? But I do like to look at those tags before I allow them on my wall, because I do just want to make sure that they're good tags and that they're offering value. And especially now, as I'm getting more and more subscribers, I really want to make sure that what's going on my wall is good quality, and you know is going to add value to my friends and my subscribers. So if you head up here to this little arrow button down here, notice that as well, guys, that the nav bar is now static at the top of your page. Okay, the nav bar is now completely static at the top of your page. And your profile button is gone. Now it's just your name. And then home goes to your news feed. And then this little button here takes you to your account settings and your privacy settings. So if we log into privacy settings, and then within privacy settings, you've got this one here that says how tags work. Okay, how tags work. If we click on edit settings, and this is the top one, this is the main one, you want to turn your timeline review on. Okay, so this basically means that you will approve tags before they appear on your timeline. Now they may obviously appear elsewhere. They'll appear on the wall of the person who's tagged you, no doubt, but this is where you will want to turn it on so that you can review any tags that are going to come onto your page. All right? Okay, guys, so what we'll do is we'll just have about 10 minutes of a few questions just so I can sort of gauge where you guys are.